I got bangs. Hey LWS TV, it is Tuesday and I am Kelsey. And this week we will be talking about. What are we talking about again? Hey LWS TV, it is Tuesday and this girl right here, I'm Kelsey. And this week I will be telling you my coming out story. Yeah, party! So basically, the first question is, when did you realize that you liked women? Well, I'm so glad that you asked. Um, my story is actually a little different than most people's because I just recently came out and I um, was kind of a normal teenage girl in high school, I suppose. Not that being gay is abnormal, but I dated guys. I was a cheerleader. Pretty obnoxiously douchey. But yeah, no, I guess in high school is kind of when it started, and I had moments where I thought, damn, I could maybe be, I kind of thought I might be bisexual. Um, I think I was always really curious about gay girls. I loved gay girls and I always wanted to know them, or like bisexual girls. I always wanted to meet them. Um, I remember if I would find out if someone was gay, I'd be like, who are they? What's their name? Who'd they date? How did it? And I'd ask them like 800 billion questions. Um, and then I think that kind of sparked my interest. And then I would always like, I was super open to like making out with girls, and I didn't really like, like high school, but other girls would be like, ew, that's gross. I'm like, why? I don't think it's gross. I think it's fun. And um, I think my sophomore year, I kind of thought that maybe I might be, and I think I kind of learned to suppress those feelings because I was afraid of how people would react. So I suppressed them for so long, they kind of, in my mind, just kind of faded. And I started dating guys and I had boyfriends, but I always like extremely disliked having sex with guys. And all my friends from high school are witness to that statement. I would always complain about how terrible the sex was. Oh my god, it was so bad. So bad. So anyway, I'd always complain about how terrible the sex was. It was like really awful. Um, and so I don't know. I think that kind of was like what sparked that. And then I graduated high school and I started college and I started working at a restaurant, and there was a girl there who was gay, like super gay. And I started developing a really big crush on her. And then one night we ended up making out, and I was like, oh my god, this is awesome. And I even developed an even bigger crush on her. And then I ended up hooking up with her. And then I was like, oh my god, this is what I'm supposed to be. It makes so much sense now. Thank you, Lord, for making me realize how dumb I've been and how long I would have to have dealt with terrible sex with men. But it wasn't just the sex. It was like honestly just everything kind of developed and it made sense, and being with girls finally made sense to me. So yeah, that's when that started. So the second question is, how did your family members handle you coming out? So, the first person I told was when I first hooked up with that girl that I worked with, and I was like really upset. I didn't know what was going on, and I started crying, and I was crying all the time because I didn't know what was going on, and my emotions were all out of whack. And so, the first person I went to was my older sister, who is amazing, and I'm so lucky that I have her. She's 6 years older than me, and I went to our house, and I was crying, and I was like, I don't know what to do. I think I might like girls. And she was like, well, maybe it's just a phase. And then time went on and I realized it wasn't a phase. And she was completely supportive. She like gave me like people's Facebooks that she knew from high school that were gay to like talk to and like confide in. And she's like super like all about like me meeting like other people who are gay and like putting myself out there. And she's been like super supportive. And then after that I told my mom, and um, she was surprisingly, like shockingly great about it. Um, so yeah, she was just happy I wasn't pregnant. And then I told my grandma, and to be completely honest, I still have not come out to my aunt and uncle, who are also really like close to my family. And the only reason for that is that I'm living in their house right now, and it's not a fear that they aren't going to accept me, because I think they really do love me, and I think they'll accept me for whoever I am. But I think that I don't want to put them in an uncomfortable situation. Um, and so for me, I think I'm just gonna wait, because this living situation is temporary. It's only for the next month, and I think I'm just gonna wait until I move out, so then they don't have to kind of like deal with it like head on, and they have time to like sit on it and really think about it and just kind of take it in, you know. So that's the only reason I haven't come out to them yet, and I just wanted to, with them, I really wanted to take time to really think about how I was gonna approach it and all that jazz. So yeah, so I think that they're gonna take it well, though. And it's not, I don't want people to think I haven't come out to them because I'm ashamed, because that is not it at all. It's genuinely because I have girls over here, like friends, and I don't want them to think like, oh wait, are they hooking up under my like roof? And I don't want to put them in a situation like that to make them feel uncomfortable. So that's why I'm just gonna wait until I move out. So, third and final question, what should I consider before coming out to others? Well, for that, I would just say, uh, hmm. Well, first I would say, uh, if you're over 18 and you know that your parents aren't necessarily going to accept it, if you're pretty positive that they're not going to, I would say to wait until you are financially capable of living on your own. As much as I would like to say that everyone's parents would take it as well as my mom did, that's not a reality. So I would hate to see somebody out on the streets, or some really terrible situation. So I would say until you are financially independent and capable of living on your own and supporting yourself, to wait until then. But if you think that your parents are going to take it great, and you think that your parents are 100% going to back you, awesome, go for it. If you are under 18, I would say to be sure. Um, and when I say that, I'm saying be sure it's not a phase. Because in high school, honestly, you're dealing with so much emotion and pressure with school and sports and friends and drama and jealousy and rumors and lies and homework and all that. And I think that when you're in high school and you're at this age and you're experimenting and you're developing yourself and you're really growing as a person and kind of molding into who you're going to be. And I think it's really easy to get lost, and it's really easy to get confused. And not saying that being curious about your sexuality, that's normal, like 100% normal. And never think that if you're starting to have feelings for the same sex or the opposite sex or whatever, or both sexes, that um, that's bad, because it's not. In high school, you're completely allowed. It's in college even, just be sure that you know who you are, you know, before you say those big words. I'm gay. I would say just really be positive about who you are, and be secure in yourself, and then it's really up to you when you when you tell your parents, um, so I would say just be positive about who you are, and be secure in yourself, and be confident in yourself, and love yourself most importantly. So guys, I hope that helped somebody or someone somewhere. But yeah, so that was my coming out story. And again, I'm Kelsey. This is LWS TV, and I will see you next Tuesday.